It's your business, and many business owners are having to get by with smaller staffs these days. So, how can they get the same amount of work done if there aren't as many hands and minds to carry the load? Ron Price, CEO of Price Associates, joins us today with some ideas in today's It's Your Business. And thank you so much for joining us, Ron. We appreciate you being here. Let's talk about this. Do employers really have the option of going outside the box and finding solutions?
I think the theme of this discussion today is think differently, because we live in a different world today. Maybe a generation ago you had employees and you had employers and you had vendors and customers, but it all sort of gets blurred in today's world, because one moment I'm buying from you and the next minute I'm selling to you, and we have all of these relationships as a result of our society being a lot more homogenized these days. That gives us a chance. So there are a lot of different ways that you can use people who are not employees to help advance the purposes of your business.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's start at the top. How can you get, what aspects of your business do you think you could get this help?
Well, one great example is sales and marketing. Okay. Almost all businesses I talk to want to do more in selling.
It's true.
Well, you start with asking for referrals. And you're getting referrals from customers or from vendors or from friends. And they're not employees, but they can end up giving you valuable connections to people that you could end up selling to.
Absolutely. And then you talk about operations.
Yeah, well, just about sales and marketing, let me give you a couple more ideas before we go on, because another great example is talk to whoever you buy your advertising from. You buy your advertising from KTVB, talk to their salespeople. They may have ideas about best practices for how you can increase your sales and marketing. They may even be willing to help you in some area, and you're not giving them a paycheck. They're just one of your advertising partners. Another great example of that would be to make the optimum use of networking opportunities that you have. I watch people go to chamber lunches or go to these special networking opportunities, and they get introduced to a few people and then they go home. The idea of going there is to get an appointment, so ask people if you could get together with them. There are all kinds of ways that you can use other people to help build your business. So that's for sales and marketing. You said operations.
Yes, well, you got to make the most of it. You're right at those networking events. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, that's right.
And now we can talk about operations.
Okay.
Tell us your ideas for that.
So one of the simple ideas for operations is, are there family members that could help you out that you haven't asked yet?
Hey, that's a good idea.
And family members are the one protected group that you don't have to worry about labor laws.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
When you ask other people to volunteer and come into your office and work for you, you do have to be concerned about what the labor laws are. And sometimes you want to talk to an HR specialist to find out what those are. But family members are almost always exempt. So you can ask your children, or you can ask your spouse, or you can ask a brother to come in and help you for some special event. And if they care enough, they might be willing to do it just for a good handshake and a smile and a thanks or something like that.
Or maybe a dinner.
Yeah, right. They don't have to be an employee.
You can pay family and food, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about financial management.
Well, with financial management, there are two great opportunities that you have. One is a new and growing industry called virtual assistants.
Okay.
They're people who love to work for you, and they'll charge you an hourly rate, but they never become an employee. They work from their home, so you don't have to provide a desk or a computer. You don't have to pay all of the benefits. Virtual assistants are one way to leverage the few dollars that you have to get more help without turning somebody into being an employee.
And how do you find one of those?
Well, you can go to Google and Google virtual assistants, and you'll get tons and tons of links that you can go to. And there are a lot of them around town here. So if you go Virtual Assistants Idaho, or Virtual Assistants Boise or Nampa, you'll get the ones that come up through Google that are in this area.
Which is what you want.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a growing industry with people downsizing.
It is, and a lot of times it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay.
Another great example for financial management would be to go to a company that specializes in providing those services for you. I think of one out in Nampa that's called Premier Alliance Business Solutions. And you go to them and you say, I don't want to do the bookkeeping, I don't want to pay the bills. They take all of that off your hands for a set fee, and you can focus on doing the things that you do best.
I think a lot of people would appreciate that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about quickly specialty non-employee services.
Well, an example of this would be managed services. Sometimes you can hire a company to come in and run a particular part of your business that you don't want to hassle with. And you have a set fee, and you don't have to worry about hiring employees and taking care of it. They do all of that for you. Another example is what we call co-employers. One of the best in the country is right here in Boise. They're called Employers Resource. And they'll actually be a co-employer of your employees, so they provide all of the benefits, they provide all of the HR services, they do all of that stuff for you. And because they're doing it for something like 10,000 employees around the country, they get you better results than if you were doing it yourself.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ron. We appreciate you being here, and we will be right back.